Hi everyone out there, welcome back to another video from Breezy Reef. And I realized it's been about 7 weeks since the last posting of my 90-gallon mixed reef. And I apologize for the delay. I really want to try to do one once a month because it seems like there's always a lot of changes going on. Most notably, since the last video, I've added 2 new fish and about 4 or 5 new corals that I want to cover in this video. And I'll probably touch on a couple other things that I got going on in the system as well. So let's get started. So I'm going to get started with the fish, and this is one of my new fish. It's a spotted hawkfish, and I've always loved seeing hawkfish at the local reef store, and I got this guy and he is rapidly becoming my favorite fish. They kind of swim for short spurts and then, perch on rock and coral. So he's pretty fascinating to watch move around the tank. And he's a pretty aggressive fish. He really had no problems coming into this system. None of the other tank mates really messed with him at all. And he's a pretty aggressive eater. So he really just kind of adapted pretty quickly. And I'm really enjoying this fish. So this is my other new fish. This is a male Lyretail Anthias, and just an absolutely gorgeous fish. It has the violet kind of purple coloring mixed with some really bright magenta. And it's considered a semi-aggressive fish, really adapted in my system really easily as well. Was kind of shy for a few days, and then since then it's come out. Always kind of swims in this area of the tank out in the open water. So, and just a really nice splash of color to my tank. And has adapted eating flake and pellet, which it didn't do for the first couple of weeks, but now it is. And mysis shrimp. So the 3 main things I feed the system. And it's a happy and healthy fish. So moving along to the new corals that I've added to the system, this is a purple Ribbon Gorgonian, and it's photosynthetic, so it's a fairly easy Gorgonian to keep. It's got kind of thin blades and a bright purple coloring with a light tan, almost white polyps that come out generally in the evening. So it's doing really well. It's been in there about a month. About 2 days in, it got covered in a brown algae, and for a couple of weeks I was kind of concerned. Its polyps weren't extending out and it just didn't look too good, but it ended up shedding its outer layer, and now it's a bright purple coloring. The algae's all gone and the polyps are extending every evening. So this coral is doing really well, and just really nice shape and movement that it added to my system. So moving along, the next frag I got was this Turbinaria yellow scrolling coral, and I placed it right up on this flat surface right above the purple Gorgonian. And this is a really nice piece. It's about a 2.5-inch frag cut from the center of a much larger mother colony. It's been in here about 2 weeks, and already what was the flat cut edges all the way around are starting to round out and turn upwards. So already kind of seeing some changes there. I think it's going to do fine in my system. And right up on top of that same rock is my newest frag. I've had this in about a week. And this is ORA's Hyacinth Birdsnest. And it actually isn't doing great. It had much better color the first couple of days. It's lightened up. The stem should be more of a burnt orange color with purple polyps. I think it might have to do with where I have it. It's right up under the center of the tank, and it gets really intense lighting. So it's actually not puttied down, so I might try it here for a few and possibly move this frag somewhere else if it doesn't start moving in the right direction. So I also picked up this other photosynthetic purple Gorgonian. It has thinner branches than the purple ribbon and large tan polyps when they're extended out. Right now it's mostly retracted, but a really beautiful piece. I like these Gorgonians. I like the way they move around in the current, and I have it placed there in between the Signalaria and the large green acro on the right of it, and just adds some really nice depth to the tank. So I also picked up this single head of a Duncan Daisy LPS coral. I've always really loved these. Just thought I'd start cheap and simple, and I got the single head. It's got a nice mint green coloring in the center, and looking forward to seeing this coral grow out. A couple of last notes on this video. That large colony of pink palys in the upper left hand corner, I'm selling that on Craigslist right now, and I want to free up some room for more SPS corals up in that area on that big rock underneath the pink paly colony. And I have plenty of zoanthids and palys in here already, and beginning to move more in the direction of the hard corals. So that change will be coming up, and hopefully I'll have something new to show you in the next video. And as well, in the last video I was explaining I was having a problem with my bubble tip anemone splitting, and they were roaming around the tank. Well, I'm down to two. One of them I picked off the sand. I caught him moving across the sand, so I got him out of there. The large one is stayed where it's always been, right behind the purple ribbon there, where the clownfish is. And the second one has settled right in the center of the tank here behind the cocoa worm. So that's kind of worked out. It seems fine right there. It's up against my colony of clove polyps, but they really don't bother each other. So those are the latest updates on my 90-gallon mixed reef. I really appreciate everybody taking the time and watching my video, and I hope you're all enjoying your own systems at home. I'll talk to you next time.